about it, talk about it, talk about it.
We'll take, you know, like Alga, when you're going to Alga.
Yeah. Welcome to Marriage Monday.
Is it recording?
It's Funkin' huh?
Happy Marriage Monday, car edition.
This is Cindy's favorite channel, by the way.
It is the 80s channel, 98.1 if you're in San Diego. It's the best.
Yes.
I pride myself on knowing nearly every song.
And our boys are always begging us to turn on something different, but
That's actually not true. They sing along with us quite often.
oh really?
I'll hear the kids all the time singing along, and I realize I've done my job as a parent indoctrinating them in the wiles of 90s or 80s music. 80s was better than 90s. 90s was hurting a little bit. So anyway, enough about music.
Yeah, I think you have done a good job parenting if they're liking the 80s.
I know.
80s
If they're
songs.
singing Journey,
Come on.
I've done my job.
Absolutely.
I'm done.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we're in a rental car right now, and
Not because we're going on a trip.
no, we're
But
going on a
because-
date because our regular car is in the shop.
Yeah, my car is in the shop because I got in a little bit of a sandwich fender bender this last week, driving through Escondido, kind of a busy town area, and came to a stop sign, and the gal behind me did not see we were all stopped. I'm guessing she was on her phone. She didn't say. But long story short, she slammed, and I saw her coming at us, and I said, I had Benjamin with me, and I said, she's not stopping. And I literally put my left foot on the brake and kind of braced, as did Ben. And she slammed into me, pushing my car into the car ahead of us. And that car in front of us, the windshield ended up all over my car. The car behind us, the front part was pretty mangled and airbags out, and we all had our kids in the car. So it was not a great way to start the week. It was not my favorite way to have a Monday, for sure.
No, and we had just separated. I was taking the twins to go to Costco, and you were taking Ben clothes shopping.
Yeah, he's starting a new school, needed some polos, and so we were all excited to go clothes shopping, and bam, we did not make
Whiplash.
it to my destination.
Yeah, so we went from a major high, answer to prayer, school for Ben, to the call that you never want to get when
Which is Benji calling his dad after we stopped, and I said, Ben, are you okay? He's like, yeah. I said, I need you to call your dad. And he called John, I called 911, and it wasn't the call you wanted to get that your wife's been in a car accident. And thankfully we were all okay, but you don't know that right off the bat.
Right, and you could tell that he was barely holding it together when he called me, and he said, Dad, I'm trying to stay calm, but we were just in a car accident. And in just the brief few seconds between that statement and when I asked him, is everyone okay? Is your mom okay? Are you okay? All the worst things
There's a long pause.
Go through your head.
Yeah.
And I instantly was wondering if my wife was going to be okay, if he was going to be okay, and thankfully his answer was no, we're fine. We were just sandwiched in a car accident. And I said, well, send me your location. I want to come over to where you're at. And so when he sent that to me, I just remember the twins were scared. I was scared. I was actually scared and angry that this had just happened to my wife and my son right after this awesome thing, this horrible thing just happened. And I remember in that moment, just the feeling of like, oh my goodness, I could have just lost my wife, could have just lost my son. And when we pulled up to that accident, and I saw Cindy there, her car in between these two other cars, Ben there, I was barely holding it together, and I looked across the street, across the traffic, and saw you there.
Yeah, I mean, if they, it was, she hit us actually really hard. She was probably going 20, 25 miles an hour. She was not stopping. She just was not paying attention. So it was not a small accident for sure, but it was just in that moment of like, you're not prepared for something to happen that's out of the ordinary, and boom, literally, there it is. And yeah, it just got us talking about that today, about just even how in marriage sometimes it's easy just to kind of like go along and without, really trying to just take each other for granted, take things for granted, because we're just doing our thing, and we're just, we're going our places and showing up where we need to be, and then boom, you get news that you're like, oh my gosh, what's up? And we've been getting this news from different friends and family that are dealing with work stuff, and that are dealing with health stuff, and deaths in the family, and all kinds of things that are just like boom. And it just made us have the dialogue of like, gosh, I don't want to take things for granted. We don't want to live in fear and panic and like then try to control because we want to hold something in constant pause. But at the same time, we do want to hold marriage and relationship and family in a position where we're aware of the shortness of our days, and we're aware of the blessing and the greatness of what we had, even if it's not always great, right? Because marriage and life and everything isn't always great, but what we have, it's good, and we want to keep it good, and we want to remember that it's good.
Yeah, and I think this whole year, I don't know if you feel the same way, has just caused us to realize that nothing is permanent except for the Lord and His love. Everything that we thought was going to remain the same has completely changed and shifted this year for everybody across the globe. And it's funny because we're driving this car, this rental, and I thought about that one Switchfoot song that the lyric goes like, I'm not sentimental, but this skin and bones is a rental.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah. And I'm gonna sing my songs in Babylon. And
we love you, Switchfoot. If you watch our Marriage Monday, we love you, Switchfoot.
Yeah, we do. And I'm sure they watch this. I just want to make sure that there's not a day that goes by where I'm not telling you, where I'm not telling my boys that I love them. I want to make sure there's a lot of lessons that I want to make sure I learned this year. But with that accident, I just drove home the lesson of everything is temporary except for eternity. Yeah. And I don't want to let a day go by because of busyness or stress or pressure where I'm not saying I love you and where I'm not showing that I love you and finding ways to do that. And I'm really, really grateful that lesson only required, it didn't require serious injury for me to learn it. I know that so many only learn that lesson sometimes when it's too late. Yeah. And I don't want to wait anymore. I don't want to wait for another horrific change in 2020. I don't want to
murder hornets.
Yeah, I don't want to
zombie apocalypse.
I don't want to circle any more days without learning that. And that's just kind of what we wanted to pass on to you today. The scriptures make it clear that this life is temporary. It's a vapor. It's here today and gone tomorrow, and that's not morbid. Yeah. That is not depressing. That actually puts things into perspective.
Yeah. It could be if you just lived without hope, but because we're people that live with hope, that's actually a really great perspective. Is like, it's actually, it's positive. Like, we're not here forever. We have eternity with Jesus. So I'm going to really care for and love well what I have right here. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to keep short accounts. I'm not going to waste my days holding on to grudges or, wanting to get revenge or whatever. Life's too short. We don't have that much time.
Yeah. So keep short accounts. Yeah. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Cindy and I are going to go out on a date right now because this kind of rhythm allows us to slow down and look each other in the eyes and remember that we are a husband and wife before we're parents, before we're employees, before we're pastors or any of those other things. And I don't want to look back on this year with regret and go, hey, we were just surviving. So, I don't want to just survive. Yeah. I want to make sure that I'm letting you know every day how much I love you.
Thanks, baby. Yeah. You're pretty great. I'm surviving, Kate. Like that line from Lost. Remember when Sawyer's like, I'm surviving.
I don't know if anyone's going to remember that. But
he sounded Irish.
In the meantime, I'm going to drive.
Yeah. Keep on driving.
Yes. And I'm hoping that no one plows into us. But the truth is that we can't control collisions. We can't control what's going to run into us, but we can control how we spend our days in purposefully, intentionally loving our spouse. And so that's just a real simple thing we want to encourage you. And don't wait till your anniversary. Don't wait till your birthday. Don't wait till Valentine's Day. Today, tomorrow, find a way to tell your spouse how much you love them. Because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. Yeah. So
do it now.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. Don't even wait till you get to your date spot.
That's right. No, I love you.
I love you too. Thank you guys so much. Let us know in the comments below how we can be praying for you. And as always, if this is valuable to you, share it with somebody else.
Yeah.
Share it with your spouse as like a little hint, like, hey, we need to go on a date or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Incentive. Date, video, watch. We love you guys.
All right.
Have a great night.
God bless.